In this tutorial I'm going to take you through how to use the text editor. This box here is the text editor, and you'll find it in all of the activities that you add in Moodle. So it's very important that you become familiar with these tools. It's basically a space where you can write anything, add pictures, add videos, add any content that you wish the students to see. One thing that I think is quite important when you're adding any of these activities is that you make it look as appealing as you possibly can for the students. So by giving it a nice title, giving it, adding some pictures to it, it automatically makes it more appealing for the students to carry out the task. So I think that's something to bear in mind when you're setting up any of your activities. This is in setting up a glossary, adding a new glossary, but it's exactly the same text editor box when you're adding a quiz or a wiki or an assignment. So as always, you need to give whatever it is, the activity, a name. So since this is a glossary, let's take the Year 4 IPC topic of chocolate. Chocolate glossary, and then below I'm going to give it a nice title again. So chocolate glossary, and I want to highlight that so I can put it in the center, underline. So it's just like in any text editing software. You have these usual buttons that you should be fairly used to. Certainly in Word you have most of these. You can bold them, italicize it, underline it, whatever you want. You can change the color of the text. So let's have more of a chocolatey color, and you can change the font, give it a bit of impact, and then give it a bit of size. Maybe that's still too small. Okay, so there we've got chocolate glossary. And before I go any further, I want to add a picture. I really think it's quite important to get used to adding pictures into each of your activities, because as I said earlier on, if we can make it as attractive and as appealing as to the students, then it'll be more enjoyable, and they'll be more enthusiastic about completing the tasks. So if you find this button here, insert or edit an image, it's a little button with a picture of a tree just below the alignment buttons. So when you click on that, it opens up this box here, and there's a few different options for adding pictures. You can upload a picture, an image that you have on your computer, or an easier way, a quicker way that I find, is to add the image URL or web address of the actual picture itself. So if you do a Google search, for example, for a set of pictures, and you find one like that, at the moment the URL at the top still is a Google search URL, so it's not actually the web address of this particular picture. What you have to do is you have to click on full size image at the side and get to this screen. Now you see that the web address or the URL changes specifically for that JPEG, specifically for that picture. So if you copy that and then go back, and where it says image URL, paste that in. If you press enter, it should give you a preview, and there it is. And there's the picture nicely in there. And that basically is the basics of the text editor. There are other buttons, such as Moodle Media button, which will allow you to upload videos. There's the HTML source toggle, which allows you to add any HTML content, but most of these buttons you should be relatively familiar with.